Quo vadis, medicine. Soon you will be able to develop your healing arts worldwide and without restraint. Oxygen-rich blood transfusions with the same K-point factor no longer need to hide in the underground high-tech world. You will soon be able to use this panacea freely. Heal the sick in minutes and bring the dead back to life, free from unwanted side effects and without a defibrillator. In the early days of medicine there was the direct donation of oxygen-rich blood. All mammals are donors. Disadvantaged blood quickly loses potency. Only 2 factors K and point. With various factors there is an allergic reaction felt like burning pain. You ask why I had to do without it at all. Not to mention the many lives I could have saved. Don't worry and let me explain what happened behind our backs. A memory experiment takes place on the surface of the Earth. History before high technology provided the basis for this. What would have happened if mankind had trusted a different worldview? This question was investigated. The secret observer and director is the hidden underground high-tech world and artificial intelligence in the global computer network. Then down there and in space, robot factories realized the plans and tricks to make it easier for us to forget. The surface of the Earth was given over to a cyborg avatar society for security reasons, which was tasked with continuing the theory and practice of the long-extinct endless life skeptics. The knowledge of the oxygen-rich blood transfusion thus disappeared from the everyday life of the voluntary memory test subjects. Without this panacea, resuscitation, detoxification, organ transplants, and spare body cloning are virtually doomed to failure. That this is not always the case is thanks to the secret interventions of the underground high-tech world and their clone cyborg devils. Via lift connections and from space, AI also activates Terminator flying robots in an emergency, which will fly you unobtrusively into space zero gravity in a few minutes, for lifeless storage. You remain in the Holden without changing biologically until a suitable method has been found that enables you to continue living. As a subject, you should have memorized the following. On Earth, all biological persons have the guarantee option of endless life. For centuries there has not been a single real death, and live carefully. Something that didn't work for me, but brain enhancement and ego transfer worked anyway. Surgical machines use laser biomerging, oxygenated blood and cloned embryos to create cyborgs that can also be born naturally. Cyborgs are feasible from the size of a wasp to the size of a blue whale. These artificial beings do not have biologically functioning brains. Camouflaged implanted computers with AI control all life functions via the spine, the perfect devil. This simulated the drama in the memory experiment from birth to death. Stressed experiments for enhancing ego transmission and memory unmasked a deception scheme. Different than forecast. Completely monitored, artificially staged catastrophes, diseases, epidemics, accidents, crimes, and wars had no positive influence on the development of ego consciousness. To my knowledge, all of the injured and victims were cyborgs. The remaining positive side effects of the stress tests were the clarification of statistical fraud and the political disempowerment of formerly influential communities. In the end, the theory of endless life skeptics had lost to the practice of successful endless life surgery. The fact remains, the ego is only in the brain and is basically the memory of everyday life. Because there is built-in forgetfulness in consciousness, piecemeal brain rejuvenation surgery works. Training and memory tests determined the amount and speed of exchange without suffering loss of ego. The surgical machine exchanges at the right time, piece by piece, older brain for a feedback-free cloned brain of the same size. Older and younger parts of the brain live everyday life and form the ego. The ego transference from older to younger parts of the brain takes place imperceptibly. Thanks to the brain enhancement method, not a single ego has died for thousands of years. Now it's time to open the gate to the high-tech paradise.